Waiting is one of the hardest things to do in life. Whether you're waiting for a breakthrough, a healing, a job, a spouse, or an answer from God, waiting can feel like an endless desert with no oasis in sight. But the truth is, when God tells us to wait, He isn't ignoring us. He's preparing us. The Bible is filled with stories of men and women who had to wait on God's timing. And their wait wasn't easy, but it was always worth it. So, what should we do when God says, wait? Let's walk together through this spiritual journey. When God asks you to wait, you must understand this: waiting is not wasting. It's easy to believe that if something isn't happening now, it will never happen. But in God's kingdom, waiting is active. It's not a pause, it's a process. Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." Waiting strengthens you. It grows your spiritual muscles. It's the gym of faith where endurance is built. When you wait, God works behind the scenes. He aligns circumstances. He softens hearts. He shifts atmospheres. And He shapes you. Psalm 46 verse 10 tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." Being still doesn't mean doing nothing. It means resting in the assurance that God is in control. But don't disconnect. Stay in prayer. Stay in the Word. Stay in worship. When God says wait, He doesn't say, walk away. He's saying, stay close and trust me. Be like Mary who sat at the feet of Jesus. In the waiting, let your soul lean in, not walk out. Sometimes God delays a blessing not because you're not going to receive it, but because He's still building something in you. Waiting reveals the condition of our hearts. Are we patient? Are we trusting? Or are we bitter and angry? Romans 5 verses 3-4 says, "Suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." God is more interested in your character than your comfort. He's preparing you for what you prayed for. You want the blessing? Make sure your heart can handle it. Let's look at a few people in the Bible who waited. Abraham waited 25 years for his promised son. Joseph waited 13 years from the pit to the palace. Moses waited 40 years in the desert before leading Israel. David was anointed king but waited years before sitting on the throne. Jesus Himself waited 30 years before beginning His ministry. If they had to wait, so can we. God's timing is perfect, even when it seems delayed. Sometimes, when we get tired of waiting, we try to make things happen ourselves. Remember Abraham and Sarah? They tried to rush God's promise and ended up with Ishmael, which brought conflict. When you rush God, you may receive something, but it won't be the best He had for you. Wait on God's Isaac, not your Ishmael. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Not your time. Not your schedule. His time. God is never late. And He's never early. He is always right on time. Think about a puzzle. Every piece has a place and a time. If you try to force a piece where it doesn't belong, it won't fit. Let God complete the picture. Trust Him with the timing. Don't waste your waiting season. Use it to grow spiritually. Read the Bible deeply. Spend more time in prayer. Develop your gifts. Serve others. Waiting doesn't mean stopping. It means preparing. Just like a farmer who sows seeds and waits for the harvest, he doesn't sit idly. He waters, nurtures, and removes weeds. Do the same with your spiritual life. God already knows you're struggling. Be honest with Him. David in the Psalms poured out his soul to God. He cried, he questioned, he wrestled, but he always came back to faith. You can say, "God, I don't understand. I'm tired. I feel forgotten. But I trust you." Honesty opens the door for intimacy. Paul and Silas were in prison. They didn't complain. They sang. Worship shifts your focus from the problem to the promise keeper. Sing even when it hurts. Praise even when you're confused. Worship even when you're tired. Worship is your weapon in the waiting. Micah 7 verse 7 says, "But as for me, I watch and hope for the Lord, I wait for God my Savior. My God will hear me." Don't wait with frustration. Wait with expectation. Expect God to move. Expect Him to answer. Expect Him to show up. Your waiting season is not your wasted season. It's your preparation ground. God's wait is not always a no. Sometimes we confuse the two. If you haven't heard yes yet, it doesn't mean the answer is no. Delay means development. God might be saying, yes, but not yet. Don't walk away from the promise because it's taking time. Sometimes no one else will encourage you. You have to do it yourself. David encouraged himself in the Lord. Speak life over yourself. Say things like, God is for me. My answer is on the way. This waiting has a purpose. I will see the goodness of God. Your words have power. Use them to lift your spirit. While waiting, stay obedient in what you can do. If God told you to pray, keep praying. If He told you to serve, keep serving. If He told you to stay rooted. Sometimes the biggest blessings come through simple obedience. Luke 16 verse 10 says, Whoever is faithful with little will be trusted with much. Be faithful in the waiting. Deuteronomy 7 verse 9 says, Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God. God didn't bring you this far to abandon you. He's not a man that He should lie. If He promised, He will perform. Even when you don't see it, He's working. Even when you don't feel it, He's moving. Hold on to His faithfulness. In the storm, Peter walked on water until he looked away from Jesus. In your waiting, keep your eyes on Christ. Don't get distracted by the delay. Focus on the deliverer. Hebrews 12 verse 2 tells us to fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. He started the journey. He'll finish it too. And that's the key, isn't it? He started the story of your life. Every chapter. Every line. Every pause. He is the author, not you, not your pain, not your timeline. So even when the page feels empty, know this: the pen is still in His hand. The silence isn't the end, it's just a moment of suspense before the breakthrough. When Peter stepped out of the boat, he didn't walk on water by his own power. He walked because his eyes were locked on Jesus. But the moment the storm distracted him, he began to sink. That's what happens to us too. When we stop looking at Christ and start looking at the chaos, fear takes over, and faith begins to fade. But even then, Jesus didn't let Peter drown. He reached down and pulled him back up. That's grace. So if you feel like you're sinking in this storm, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, know this: Jesus still reaches. Even when your faith is weak. Even when your trust trembles. Even when your hope feels crushed beneath the weight of unanswered prayers, He's still holding out His hand. You don't have to be strong enough to swim. You just need to call His name. Maybe your heart is tired of waiting. Maybe the nights have felt too long, and the silence too loud. But the delay is not a sign that God has forgotten you. It's a sign that He's preparing something deeper in you, something that couldn't be built any other way. He's not only preparing the blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. Don't measure God's presence by how fast things happen. Measure it by how deeply He's anchoring you. The roots always grow in the dark, hidden beneath the soil. You may not see it, but growth is happening. Transformation is happening. Faith is taking root where feelings fail. And one day soon, that tiny seed of trust will bloom into a testimony bigger than your imagination. So keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep your eyes on the one who walks on water. The one who calms storms with a whisper. The one who holds the keys to your future. The waiting won't last forever, but what God builds in the waiting will. Your patience is not pointless. Your tears are not wasted. Your prayers are not ignored. He hears you. He sees you. And when the time is right, He will make all things beautiful, just like He promised. When God says, wait, He's not punishing you. He's preparing you. It may feel like silence. It may feel like heaven has closed its doors. But what you don't see is the work God is doing behind the scenes, arranging, shifting, refining, and building. Waiting seasons are not divine punishments. They are divine appointments. He's growing something in you that couldn't grow any other way. Patience, endurance, trust, and maturity, these aren't built in the rush of blessings. They're formed in the stillness of the wait. Like a seed beneath the ground, invisible yet full of life, your faith is growing even when nothing seems to be happening. You may not see the fruit yet, but the roots are going deep. Don't despise the delay. Don't curse the stillness. Don't resent the silence. That very delay you're frustrated with might be the shield protecting you from something you're not ready for. It could be God saying, "Not yet, because I love you too much to let you walk into something unprepared." The wait is His mercy in disguise. His timing is not meant to frustrate you, it's meant to form you. Embrace the wait. Let it shape you. Let it soften your heart and sharpen your vision. Let it strip away distractions and idols and bring you back to the one who matters most. Waiting teaches us to depend not on outcomes, but on God Himself. Not on what's coming, but on who is already with us. Because sometimes, the greatest miracle isn't in what changes, but in who you become during the wait. Let the wait teach you how to rest when life feels unstable. Let it teach you how to listen when the world is loud. Let it anchor your faith, not in what you see, but in who He is. Waiting doesn't mean you're forgotten. It means you're being fashioned. God is crafting a testimony in you that will encourage others, one you couldn't have written on your own. The wait will be worth it. The tears, the prayers, the long nights, the lonely days, they will all find meaning. Because the one you're waiting on is not just a promise maker, He is a promise keeper. He is faithful, He is loving, and He is always on time. Not on your time, not on the world's schedule, but on His perfect, holy, flawless timing. So next time God says, "Wait," don't panic. Don't let anxiety rise. Don't assume you're forgotten. Instead, lean in closer. Trust more deeply. Cry if you must, but don't quit. Keep walking with Him, even if it's slow. Keep praising Him, even if it's quiet. Keep believing, even if your hands are trembling. And worship loudly. Let your praise rise louder than your doubt. Louder than your fear. Louder than the enemy's voice. Because while you're waiting, God is working. In ways you can't see, in places you can't reach, in people you haven't even met yet, He is orchestrating the details of your destiny. And one day, soon and suddenly, everything will come together. And when it does, you'll realize, it wasn't just about what you were waiting for. It was about who you became while you waited.